management of Shalby hospitals. Vikram Shah, the CMD, joining in right now. Vikram, hi, morning. What is the impact of Ayushman Bharat on the growth in terms of volumes, and what kind of impact do you think it could have on your margins? Is the pricing curve for different surgeries, does that really impact your margins?
Well, very good morning to all of you. As far as hospital margins are concerned in a corporate world, first of all, these patients who are beneficiaries of Ayushman, they were never coming to corporate hospitals. So these patients are more business than what we used to have. So though it's a lower margin business, it is welcome business in a way that it is extra business which was never coming to corporate hospital, which now corporate hospitals will be getting. Having said this, the rates given at present time are lower and margins will be lower. However, in a coming time, government should and will improvise on the price structure of these Ayushman surgical packages.
Hi there, good morning. Do you think though that the hospital sector margins in India are now at risk with Ayushman Bharat and the price control, etc. in the sector?
Not at all. See, if I may say so, it is the only 20-25% of India's population will be going in that. Corporate hospitals had been treating more often insured patient or self-paying patients where the margins are intact. Large part of corporate hospitals business is coming from medical tourism, where there is no margin pressure at all. So there is no problem at all as far as Ayushman is concerned, as far as the viability of hospital as a business is concerned.
All right. Do you think the hospital sector margins in India are at risk at all with Ayushman Bharat or price controls in the sector? Or, also if beyond margins as well, for the last 5-6 years, bed capacity has been growing as well, at about 9% CAGR. Now, this slowed down a little bit. So do you think investments will still be low for new additions going forward?
I would put it other way. You know what? There is a consolidation on the way. Yes, I accept it, and it is always healthy for any industry to grow. Then whenever there is a growth phase, then there is a consolidation phase, and then the survival of the fittest, and that is how it should be. However, the margins are not only because of Ayushman are getting contracted, but there is a competition also. Also on the other part, India is in lack of hospital beds in tier 2, tier 3 cities, more than million. So, it's not like that we have oversupply of beds. We have oversupply of beds in metros, but we don't have oversupply of beds in tier 2, tier 3 cities, even tier 1 city. So, metros, yes, there is a competition. And whenever there is a competition, again, there is a survival of fittest. People who have very high cost structures are going to pay heavy price. Their margins are either becoming zero or negative, and you can see the balance sheets of different companies where they are in negative just because even though those hospitals are full. If you see those hospitals, if you go visit, 70-80% occupancy, and still they are loss making. So there is something wrong. Even if you have patients and if you are still loss making, that means you are not doing something right.
Right. Do you think then that the focus on the average revenue per occupied bed over the next 2 to 3 years will lead to a pickup in the overall margins for the industry as cost cutting as well is going to prevail?
Yeah, well, average revenue per occupied bed will go up only with faster discharge of the patient. If you keep medical patient or if you keep surgical patient for long time, ultimately your ARPOB will go down. So, fast discharge, fast treatment, not wasting time within the hospital premises, becoming more efficient is going to be the key for hospital industry to become or remain profitable. And also the cost structure. If you are not able to make decent EBITDA by 50% of occupancy, actually you are not having a right kind of cost structure. That is what I firmly believe.
What is your current operating profit margin and what are the targets over the next 2 to 3 years? Do you expect to move to about over 20% plus from the current 16 to 17%? You think that's a possibility?
Well, as far as we are concerned, we had always been operating with more than 20% margins, and our old units are working at more than 30% margins, and in a coming time our margins will improve because all our new units have started becoming EBITDA positive.
Right, we'll let you go on that note. Thanks very much for joining in, Mr. Shah, and giving us a sense as to the outlook on your margins and what Ayushman Bharat means for the sector.